Hey guys, welcome to Punk Rock Storytellers Unplugged. I'm your host, Brad Hesse. Tonight we're raising money for the Milwaukee Bail Fund. All these bail funds are great. They're helping people who have been in prison due to the protests. They're peaceful protesters who are getting arrested and stuff, and so these bail funds are helping them find representation and at least getting them out of there. Tonight we have my friend Brian Hoffman. He's going to play for us. Hey Brian, how you doing?
Hey, not too bad. How's it going? Doing pretty good.
Awesome, man.
Oh, not too much. Just chilling in small town South Dakota. Been far away from a lot of the stuff going on, but I have a lot of friends close to what's happening. So it's been kind of just trying to do my part here, And I think that just to piggyback off what you said, the bail fund, it's great, because a lot of these people, everybody, they're peaceful protesters that just help get them home. You know what I mean? We all got the same cause. We all, want,
Oh,
yeah. So, yeah, I think it's great. And donate if you can. So, yeah.
All right.
So, all right, do you want me to
go ahead and...
Okay, sounds good. This first song is called Apathetic. I wrote it, it's been like 8 years ago, but it's one of my favorite songs, and a lot of my stuff is, I read a lot about my own mental illness and kind of introspection and stuff like that, but I hope you enjoy it. Let's get that figured out. I have a pencil capo, and I know that doesn't make it sound the best, but I left my capo up in Sioux Falls last night, so hope you can get through it. Well, I'm tired of reaching out for feelings I don't have. Another day goes by, and here I stand. Well, I'm tired of getting walked all over wrong. Getting by in the middle, watching my dreams free fall. And I never found any healing in that old gospel song. Though I can't say that I've tried too hard. And I'm not running, I'm just stumbling. My stomach acid flow going up and down these streets in my car. I spent most of my life listening to Dead Man on the radio, while the world kept telling me what I couldn't do. And over time this hopeful heart became so cynical. It's hard to reach for the sky when you've got the ceiling caving in on you. Oh, I can't take it anymore. No, I can't take it anymore. And I'm tired of hearing whispers behind my back. Life's a train going by, and I got my foot stuck in the tracks. Promises been broke, been gone. I skip a beat in my heart, and I let that old soul song take me home. And I wish I was apathetic, wish I could sleep through the night. And if I wasn't so goddamn spineless, wouldn't let this eat me up inside. No, I can't do this anymore. No, I can't do this anymore. I spent most of my life listening to Dead Man on the radio, while the world kept telling me what I couldn't do. And over time this hopeful heart became so cynical. It's It's hard to reach for the sky when you got the ceiling caving in on you. Spent most of my life listening to dead men on the radio, while the world kept telling me what I couldn't do. And over time this hopeful heart became so cynical. It's hard to reach for the sky when you've got the ceiling caving in on you. So there's my first one. I hope everybody's doing well. I know it's been a crazy year so far, but I think good things are coming. So, and that's what we gotta hold on to. So, and yes, I know that I'm not exactly the most punk rock person on Punk Rock Storytellers. Punk rock community is just a community that has embraced me, and I had a lot of the same, things there, and it's just been really welcoming. I do get the occasional message telling me I'm not punk, and don't worry, I already kind of know. So, all right, this next one is called Out of Sight. There it is. How does the pencil capo? Yes, all right. I find myself walking back down these old streets, and though I used to call it home, it never felt that way to me. All those years spent lying through my tape, and all those nights I waited on you to take a chance on me. I said that it's alright, and I've made it on long past those days, until I've lost count of the miles between what I am and everything I used to be. I can't go home. No, I can't go home. And I see those cold fall winds blow away the leaves, with the years youth slipping away in every color that I see. Going through the motions with my heart on my sleeve. And I'm sorting through this book, looking for a line that I can keep. And I said that it's alright, and I've made it on long past those days, until I've lost count of the miles between what I am and everything I used to be. I can't go home. No, I can't go home. And I keep my troubles out of sight and on my mind. Well, I'm trying to keep a hope while these days keep running by. I keep my troubles out of sight and on my mind. Well, I'm going up in smoke, I know I can't rewind. And I said that it's alright, and I've made it on long past those days, until I've lost count of miles between what I am and everything I used to be. I can't go home, whoa, no, I can't go home, whoa, no, well, I can't go home, whoa, no, I can't go home, whoa, no, I can't go home. Trying to quit smoking, so I had a nicotine pouch in while I was doing that song, and it was difficult, but I made it. So, just to cheer everybody up, this next song's about divorce. Maybe. That rubber band does not want to roll down. I hope y'all are enjoying this. And I know it does not sound the greatest, but there's my contribution. There's well, let's see. We'll go with a different one actually right now. This next one is one of my newest ones. It's called Fool's Gold, and I hope you enjoy it. My neighbor smokes L&Ms and maybe should give me a few of them. 'Cause I'm broke and I don't have anything left to smoke. And that's how I stave off eviction while maintaining this addiction. Panicked hard, keeping beat, ignoring calls on my phone. And all these memories, good or bad, they start to haunt me. Well, I'm wasting time and I feel I'm letting down all my friends. But I'm sewing up these cuts that I have let consume me. Some of these holes are just way too big to mend. So I set it all free, let it all go. All these days I'm becoming someone I don't know. I set it all free, I let it all go. Don't give me no fool's gold to try to save my soul. And I hate things coming to an end. It gives me a reason not to begin. It's an excuse, but it's been working pretty well for me. 'Cause this ceiling has long since caved in. We fought a good fight, but we didn't win. And now I'm picking up what's left of me. Oh, and my heart is always placing, but never places. And I'm looking back on old days and wondering where they went. As I see these lines growing on our faces. And I thought by now I would understand. So I set it all free, I let it all go. All these days I'm becoming someone I don't know. Oh, I set it all free, I let it all go. Don't give me no fool's gold, don't try to save my soul. Don't give me no fool's gold, don't try to save my soul. Don't give me no fool's gold, don't try to save my soul. Yeah, so that's one of my newest ones. There we go. All right, so yeah, we're gonna try this again because I have a lot of stuff with the capo because I'm not good with power chords. So, so here, that'll work. All right, this one's called Arsonist. Actually, that one's just not gonna work out. It doesn't look like, because these rubber bands are garbage. I'm sorry, everybody. All right. So this next one is actually not called Arsonist. It's called Nothing Left to Say. Sun's on the rise, the fan so slow that it can't cut through all the frost in my window. And I'm bruised and cut, not seeing through. Oh, but everyone seems to think they know what I should do. When that bulb's burned black in the socket, and I'm naive, still waiting for the light. If a man's worth what's in his pocket, today I ain't worth a fucking dime. But I always keep talking, long after there's nothing left to say. I always keep talking, long after there's nothing left to say. I always keep talking, long after there's nothing left to say. What's left to say? I empty my mind on my ride home, and I brought up some things I should have left alone. Oh, but nothing hurts more than the truth that I was never gonna mean that much to you. But I always keep talking, long after there's nothing left to say. I always keep talking, long after there's nothing left to say. I always keep talking, long after there's nothing left to say. What's left to say? Oh, but they were my friends, and this was my home. But I always keep talking, long after there's nothing left to say. I always keep talking, long after there's nothing left to say. I always keep talking, long after there's nothing left to say. What's left to say? Thank you. I'm assuming you're clapping. So, hey, appreciate it, Timothy. Getting by with this pencil capo, anyways. So, all right, this next one's called Breaks. And actually, I should say, I actually wrote this song because the first line you'll get it, but well, it's what inspired it. But we ran out of gas on the first tour I was ever on back in 2013, and and either way, yeah, we ran out of gas probably like 40 miles from the venue, and we were in the middle of the country, and we had to get hitchhiked and go and get gas, bring it back, and we thought we were going to get murdered the whole time. It was a good time. I mean, we didn't. So, and this song came out of it. So it's not necessarily about that, but that's what inspired it. I gotta fix that. That's better. Somewhere along the road less traveled, I ran out of gas. With these ghosts I should have left buried in my past. And they say there's a place for everything, yeah, but everything's out of place. Oh, and I can't get no sleep, no, I'm not really awake. That's okay, I'm okay. That's okay, I'm okay. These days keep going by, making me wanna pump brakes. There's a voice in the back of my mind telling me I ain't got what it takes. And these days keep going by, making me wanna pump brakes. Well, I'm out of time to burn out, might as well just waste away. And there's some things that I've done that I can't take back. Memories that hit me like a heart attack. And these sad blue bloodshot eyes start every day. I do my best to keep a smile on my face, 'cause I'm okay. Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. Well, I'm okay. But these days keep going by, making me wanna pump the brakes. There's a voice in the back of my mind telling me I ain't got what it takes. And these days keep going by, making me wanna pump the brakes. Well, I'm out of time to burn out, might as well just waste away. Out of time to burn out, might as well just waste away. Well, I'm out of time to burn out, might as well just waste away. Yeah, it's coming together. We're making it happen. All right, this next one I'm going to play open, which I tune full step down, which I guess you don't need to know. But I normally play it capoed on 1, but I think it's going to work out fine here. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. It's called Toss. Really kind of goes with the anxiety that's going on lately. For me, anyway. Well, my mind's on the road so far away from here, having dreams of summer nights and city streets. And I used to think I saw it all so clear, but since when have I known a thing about clarity? And now I'm lost down on my own, wondering if I'll ever get back to any calm or peace of mind. Days feeling like a heart attack, and these horrible thoughts keep creeping in. And those makeshift stitches don't keep the wounds hidden. And you just toss and turn the pages to another day. And you just toss and turn the pages to another day, when there was nothing I could ever say to get through to you. And I watch the storm outside draw near, but like all things, they come and then they pass. And there was a time when I felt at home here. I'm losing grip on moments I just wish they'd last. And now I'm lost out on my own, feeling like a burnt match. 'Cause after that short-lived fire, how quick the darkness came right back. You waste a lifetime giving up and giving in. They say not to panic while your walls are closing in. And you just toss and turn the pages to another day. And you just toss and turn the pages to another day, when there was nothing I could ever say to get through to you. No, there was nothing I could ever say to get through to you. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that a lot. Hey, there's the clap. All right, this next one is called Pops and Clicks, and it's just about, I used to, before I had an aux cord or anything like that, I would just get upset with the radio and just listen to static when I drive out to Rapid City to do band practice. So I wrote a song about it, but hope you enjoy it. I hit the button searching for a great escape, for something calm to ease my pain. quiet down my memories and all the things I used to say, though they're on my mind. They're always on my mind. And so I waste away in this state for too many damn days, and this radio keeps playing shit to which I never could relate. So I skip past when I hear the preacher, skip past another pop song, an angry man talking politics. He's always right, even when he's wrong. And what's left for me? What's left for me? Except the pops and clicks, lost in the static, and a muddled voice trying to sell me something I don't need. Except the pops and clicks, lost in the static, and a holy man trying to make me someone I can't be. Except the pops and clicks, lost in the static, and a muddled voice trying to sell me something I don't need. Except the pops and clicks, lost in the static, and a holy man trying to make me someone I can't be. So I skip past when I hear the preacher, skip past another pop song, an angry man talking politics. He's always right, even when he's wrong. And what's left for me? What's left for me? Except the pops and clicks. Aw, thanks, Mom. Love you. Yeah, so let's see here. Let's see what I got left. I have this next one, which is called Price. And I don't know, this one means a lot to me. A lot of people will really just kind of, casually sell their soul on some things. And, it's just kind of sticking to what you think's right and not letting that happen. And even though that can be, hard at times, and it's kind of a depressing song, but I write depressing songs. Deal with it. Just kidding. Thank you so much for having me on too. So and that cold wind still blows out here once in a while. Midnight knocking on my window, wanted to talk about old times that I swore I'd forgotten, I swore I'd left behind. Well, I'm worried that I'm losing my peace of mind. And they say the devil will come out here from time to time. He'll offer to buy you a drink with his cold-blooded smile. He can fix all your problems if you pay a price. And I've seen a lot of things get lost in that fire. And there are those parts of your past that you always fail to mention. All those bad ideas started with the best intentions. You cross the line and step by step you walk right past, till everything they gave you for your soul won't buy it back. No, it won't buy it back. Some of them will sell you down the river and not think twice. Try to gamble with your heart for another chance to roll the dice, and they won't stay in on one of a kind. But you just keep coming back for another try. And there are those parts of your past that you always fail to mention all those bad ideas started with the best intentions. You draw the line and step by step you walk right past till everything they gave you for your soul won't bite back. No, it won't bite back. You know it was supposed to be so much easier than this. Oh, it was supposed to be so much easier than this. Oh, it was supposed to be so much easier than this. Oh, it was supposed to be so much easier than this. Yeah, we made it through. All right, let's see. So this next one, I have not played it in quite a while. It's called Hyperventilate. I used to play with my old band, Stay Lucky. So I wrote this song with my best friend and cousin, Andy Konechny. And yeah, just figured I'd drop his name in there because he deserves credit too. And yeah, this song is just about, you know, panic attacks, basically. So. Sick of my heart beating out of control sometimes. Red hot shoulders burning, I can't rationalize. Hands on the clock, reaching for my time. Oh, but that sun's coming up, tossing that gold into the sky. I don't see it there anymore, and I don't care anymore. No, I can't stop to appreciate it. The hole in my heart is dilated like a dead man's eyes. My brain's intoxicated, sanity's overrated. I'm losing my mind, but I don't care anymore. No, I don't care anymore. Well, I'm sick of my heart beating out of control sometimes. Red hot shoulders burning, I can't rationalize. Hands on the clock, reaching for my time. Oh, but that sun's coming up, tossing that gold into the sky. But I don't care anymore. No, I don't care anymore. And I can't stop to appreciate it. The hole in my heart is dilated like a dead man's eyes. Oh, my brain's intoxicated, sanity's overrated. I'm losing my mind, but I don't care anymore. But I don't care anymore. No, I don't care anymore. No, I don't care anymore. Sweet. That one's fun to play. I haven't played that in a really long time, so I hope you enjoyed it because I had a lot of fun playing it. All right, this next one is a song very near and dear to my heart, like all of them are. But it's called I-90 Miles, and that's the interstate that goes through my state. And and it's just the interstate that when I've been on tour, everywhere I've went, it's our roads kind of always followed me around the country. But it's just kind of about being where you're at and kind of finding yourself, even though it's kind of it's hard. And, there's a lot of things you go through, and, and I know a lot of people are having some friendships getting pulled apart and stuff now for, good reason, with all the shit going on out there. And yeah, you lose a lot of things, but you got to find yourself. So, all right, this one's called 990 Miles. That was it. Hope you enjoyed it. All that sentiment and then bonk. Been driving down the same stretch of road for some time now. Running back and forth, trying to make it pay the way we needed to. You put your regrets in the dirt and you feel alright now. Well, you hope to hell they don't find a way to make it back to you. An opportunity comes knocking at the wrong door a lot of the time, while the dreamer's just wondering where he'll sleep tonight. He used to say, I'm not gonna sell my soul to stay between the lines. Oh, but the times are changing, so am I. And you just keep going back to the day that it brought you down. And all your chemicals just make you numb to what it meant to you. And you seem so calm at the surface, but when you're turning your lights down, you can't justify what you're putting yourself through. You used to say, I'm not gonna sell my soul to stay between the lines. Oh, but the times are changing, so am I. And they say you lose a lot of things trying to find yourself out here. They say you'll lose a lot of things trying to find yourself out here. Oh, when we drive up and down all of these old I-90 miles, pulling off at the same exits all our lives. Oh, when we drive up and down all of these old I-90 miles, and I was never part of that crowd, even though I tried. And they say you'll lose a lot of things trying to find yourself out here. They say you'll lose a lot of things trying to find yourself out here. I used to say I'm not gonna sell my soul to stay between the lines. Oh, but the times are changing, maybe so am I. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that one. All right, so I've got two more for you. This next one is called Silver Linings, and yeah, it's another sad one, but we'll get through it. A million stars in the sky, and they're burning like a fire. There was ones behind your eyes, wore it down to the wires, throwing sparks as you made your way through this maze that goes for miles. Oh, but sometime early on you got turned around. Yeah, your ride has had its ups, and I'm sure it's had its downs. You said you were past the point of trying to find a reason to trade your gold for silver linings, just trying to break even, feel it passing you by. Whoa, whoa, you feel it passing you by. We set those nights on fire, well, our hearts were raging like a storm. We never thought that we'd grow tired on scars on our minds, And it doesn't make a nickel's worth of difference whether we were wrong or right, when you feel like you're running down a hallway of closing doors. And all of life's sweet moments always kept you wanting more. But sometimes it's hard not to stop believing, slowly spending your last dime, while all of these seasons just keep passing you by. Whoa, whoa, they just keep passing you by. They just keep passing you by. Oh, but I'm still out here in this state of compromise, watching my breath disappear out in this old Midwest sky. And you find yourself getting caught up in the grind. You said, I'd love to make it out if I could only find the time. You feel it passing you by. Whoa, whoa, you feel it passing you by. Whoa, whoa, you feel it passing you by. You feel it passing you by. Awesome. All right, so this is my last one, and thanks to everybody that's tuned in and watched. I really appreciate it. Yeah, donate to the Milwaukee Bail Fund if you can. Help some good people get home. So, all right. This and the last one is called On My Own, and you can find it on my Bandcamp. It's just brian-hoffman.bandcamp.com, and I think it's for free on there right now. So either way, check it out. But yeah, either way, this one is called On My Own, like I said, and I hope you enjoy it. Well, I need to find a place to rest my bones, maybe down by the river, and I don't know what else I can give to you. And I've been hanging around these ghosts for as long as I can remember, and my tattooed soul don't like to see things through. But I'm just trying to do the best on my own. Well, I'm just trying to do the best on my own. And I've yet to learn the things I ought to know. Oh, I've yet to learn the things I ought to know. Well, I need to find a way to get back home. This beggar's life is getting too familiar, and the worry in my eyes is nothing new. Well, I've been writing these notes for as long as I can remember. My tattered soul don't like to see things through. But I'm just trying to do the best on my own. Well, I'm just trying to do the best on my own. And I've yet to learn the things I ought to know. Oh, I've yet to learn the things I ought to know. And if I paid full price today, God still wouldn't let me in. Oh, my ways are far from innocent. And if I paid full price today, God still wouldn't let me in. With all the second chances that I've spent. Well, I'm just trying to do the best on my own. Well, I'm just trying to do the best on my own. Well, I'm just trying to do the best on my own. Well, I'm just trying to do the best on my own. I got pretty darn close to exactly 45 minutes there. So I was watching.
Right, almost last second entire. That's pretty damn impressive.
I would say I meant to do it, but it's just pure luck.
That was pretty good timing, man.
Yeah.
So it's funny because like every day I do kind of like one song listen when I book everybody,
Sure.
and then I kind of do a quick lyric screen, like just to make sure there's like no hate speech or anything.
Oh, absolutely.
So everybody kind of gets their own day, depending on who's on for the night.
Sure.
So you've been kind of on repeat today.
Well, that makes me feel good. Which one were you listening to? Just curious.
I was just going through your Bandcamp.
Okay. Yeah, I have some full band stuff on there that's kind of fun too.
I like to play a game with everybody's influences too, like just kind of try to pick out who every artist reminds me of. So I was just like thinking, I was like, okay, I heard a lot of Americana in there.
Sure.
So old school influences, I want to say Springsteen.
Yeah, a little bit from growing up.
But also, I mean, I hear maybe a little bit of the Replacements.
Sure. Yeah, I listened to them a ton growing up. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of like old early '90s Soul Asylum.
Sure, I see. I get a lot of, a lot of people say that reminds them of '90s rock, and I did grow up on a lot of that. Like, I know whenever it's not the coolest answer, but Goo Goo Dolls were like a huge in the middle, and especially in like grade school and stuff. Like, I was huge into Goo Goo Dolls. So.
Right. Like a Boy Named Goo era, and like maybe Dizzy Up the Girl I heard a little bit.
Yeah, up to there, and that's about where I was at. I mean, they might have had a few afterwards, but yeah, no, and I was big into that, and there's a lot of the Americana sound. My mom grew up, when we grew up, we had the tape deck in the old van, and the only tape she had for a long time was Meatloaf's "Bat Out of Hell." So I really listened to that a lot too, but.
That trilogy, of albums, was phenomenal.
I know.
Like, even after the 3 didn't have very many Steinman contributions, but it was still great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it was fun. I love that stuff too. I'm trying to think of some. Yeah, but for as far as old school ones, yeah, that's about. I mean, I guess I can't leave it out. I grew up on 80s and 90s country too. I love it. I mean, there's still some songs there that are a little cringy, but a lot of those, maybe it's nostalgia, maybe it's whatever. I used to haul a lot of hay with my grandpa, which is the least punk rock thing. And yeah, that's stuff that definitely shaped how I write music, I think.
No, yeah, I can kind of hear a definite country influence.
Yeah, you can't get away from it out here.
I honestly, that's how I learned how to play guitar and sing, was just playing along to older country musicians like Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson.
Oh, sure.
And I didn't grow up with that. I just was noticed it was slow enough for me to be able to learn the mechanics of it. And then Luther Perkins and Buddy Holly were not technicians on guitar, but it was just I can do that. I can do what they're doing.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I think some of those too, because I still put on some songs, and that's kind of how I practice. I run through scales or anything like that, but I'll play just so I can play. That's my mom saying 70s soft rock as well, which is definitely it was in there. But I will say my parents were a bit cooler than some as far as music goes. My dad claims that he was big into heavy metal. But he was really big into Quiet Riot for 2 years, maybe, when he was. But back to what were we talking about? The country thing, playing along with country songs. I just run through my scales and just kind of noodle along with it, and that's kind of a good way to keep, it doesn't feel like practice. That's why it's a little easier, maybe.
Oh yeah. It's fun. It's fun to sometimes just strum, even if you're not actually trying to play anything.
Yeah, just kind of go with it and see. And then it's interesting to see. I'm always curious on how people put their chord progressions together and everything like that, and just finding different things. And you see a lot of similarities, and you get things in there. I mean, that's how we all do it. We pick up on things from songs that we learned. I mean, I was big into in 2006. That's kind of I graduated in 2007, but I was big into Rise Against. I found there was a Christian school in Mitchell, which is about 10 miles from where I'm at. And this kid, there was a garage sale, and this kid had to get rid of all of his CDs of secular bands. And I found The Unraveling by Rise Against there. And that's like really what got me I don't know. I'm not sure what I was listening to before then, but I was listening to Against Me and stuff like that. But then I really got, that's kind of what, I don't know. That was a really big find for me because I found a lot of albums in that garage sale. Poor guy didn't get to keep any of them. But
I hear a little bit of Gaslight Anthem too.
I get that a lot. I'm a huge fan too. I saw them open for Rise Against back in 2008. It was actually, it was a crazy show because it was Rise Against, Thrice, Alkaline Trio, and then Gaslight Anthem opened. They only played like 5 songs, but yeah, I bought the 59 sound from Benny, their drummer, which was kind of cool. Name drop, but.
Benny also worked with Jeff Rosenstock on Antarctigo Vespucci. He was their drummer.
They're so great. I love, yeah.
Chris Farron.
Yeah, Chris is awesome, and he's very interactive on Twitter too, which is nice. He's just but yeah, I love that album. What it came out, it's probably late 2018 now, right? Things are going, yeah, but I can't think of the names of the first one because it's like a voicemail, right? At the start, isn't that what it is? Yeah. Either way, I just listened to it, but I don't know the names of the songs. I guess I'm getting to that age.
I love the reworking that they did of Chris Farron's song "I Drew You Once in Art Class." Like that fucking riff that Jeff came up for it.
Yeah,
it's hooks you so great. Like
it's like all the best parts of Fake Problems, and then you have Jeff Rosenstock in there. It's just perfect. Yeah, I love it because I really like Fake Problems a lot, and but yeah,
I tried to get Jeff on here for this month. Like
that'd be amazing. Yeah,
because we had Mikey Yerg on last month, so nice. I was just like, I want to get Jeff on this month. And, we have John Snodgrass at the end of the month, so I try to do this month up big.
Sure.
We have one we can't really announce yet the day before John Snodgrass because we don't have the promo materials and all that shit. So it's like, God damn it, I want to announce this because I'm excited.
I get you. That's always the hardest thing when you have something you want to wait and let people know. I'm excited to hear who it is. So yeah, that's really cool. Mikey Yerg, I saw him play with the Copyrights at Total Drag probably 5 years ago now, something like that. But yeah, it was great. I think he just opened. It was just him and an electric guitar. But yeah, it was great.
He's doing a full band solo shit now. It's I kind of dig it. I love everything Mikey Yerg does. It's like
yeah, there's some of those artists out there that I'm the same way. I really I need to dig more into it because I will say that I haven't listened to as much of his stuff as I would have liked to. But yeah, there's some of those that literally everything you do, everything they do, just yeah. Laura Jane Grace is like that for me. I'm just a big fan of. Yeah.
Oh, Against Me is great.
Yeah. Oh, and they've grown and done whatever else. And I don't know, all those songs from Reinventing Axl Rose on shaped me from my late teens through my 20s. And I don't know, it's just kind of I don't know. You find those songs that are just like a voice that kind of grabs onto that feeling that you didn't know you had or whatever. And just nothing better. Do you get the goosebumps when you hear songs? I know it's not everybody gets them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know how many times, especially tonight we're going to give it 35% and stuff like that. That was the first song I'd ever heard by them actually way back in the day. And to this day, that song still gets me. But
do you ever feel that way about your own song sometimes when you're just hitting it just right, everything's going right?
Oh yeah.
Those nights are awesome.
Yeah, there's certain times, and I found that a little bit of inside baseball, but some of it's if I haven't had my antidepressants, I really feel it. But there's certain things that you get it and it's going just right. And then when I tour, I actually write "You Wrote This" on my wrist because sometimes after you're playing like several shows, like, you know, several days in a row, you kind of get complacent or whatever, and you're just kind of up there playing the songs. And then I kind of just kind of get myself into the mindset and like realize the words I'm saying rather than, and then sometimes you forget because you played the song so many times and you realize like, holy shit, I feel this way. And I'm kind of, for me, songwriting's always been, I'll write the song and then I'll realize later that I was feeling that way. And that never quite works right hand in hand. But
like we've had bad, like our last tour, like we haven't gone in a little while, so I spent a lot of it just getting through with alcohol, honestly.
sure.
I'm like almost a year sober now, but like
well, awesome, congrats.
Thanks. But like, yeah, it was like there's just those nights it's like I got to drink, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to make it through.
Yeah, there's certain times, and then like I have a hard time sleeping away from home. Like I love being on the road, I do, but I have a hard time sleeping away from home. And then sometimes, and then, well, Wisconsin, you know, you get there, that's always it's a hard place not to drink. I don't think I've ever left. I've only left Wisconsin once without a hangover, you know. But yeah, there's some times, and you got to find, especially on those longer runs, you got to find, you know, there are a few times like, yeah, you hit it pretty hard, and then you got to take a few days off and like take care of yourself because it can really wear you down. I know I got, you know, drank a bit too much on one of the first big tours I went on in 2016, and then drank a bit too much in Green Bay and whatever else, and then ended up getting really sick in Rockford because you just, you know, yeah, it's all about finding healthy things to do whatever on the road. But yeah, alcohol is definitely there sometimes.
Do you ever, on those long hauls, ever have to like basically do an everything detox when you're done, like when you get home, like caffeine, everything, you just cut back on majorly? Because it's like, dude, I had so much caffeine on this tour, I got to cut back to maybe a soda a day. That's it, just a soda.
Mm-hmm. I know on this last run I went on at the start of March. It was basically right before all the coronavirus stuff really got in the gear. I got home, and then like literally the next day is kind of when things kind of started shutting down. And but I was rocking like 2 of those Rain energy drinks, because I don't drink Bang. But yeah, like I was rocking like 2 of those a day, and just terrible. So yeah, you get, and then you have the caffeine headaches and everything like that, and then you're like, how many like things am I depending on? Like all this caffeine, nicotine, all that, and it really, yeah, you get on a weird equilibrium. It's definitely not that you definitely need to recoup from.
I work for Coke, so it's like Rain, we distribute that and everything.
Okay.
So like, but yeah, like so I'm up very early. I'm up at like between like 3:30 and 3:45, depending on how much work I have to do every day.
Oh, sure.
So it's like, all right, I got to get there at 5 if I want to be done by 2:30, like, you know, that kind of thing.
Sure.
So we had a show in Oshkosh, which is like 3 or 4 hours away from us.
Okay. And, no, where are you? Okay, so because are you south of Oshkosh or east?
We're in Kenosha, so like halfway between Milwaukee and Chicago there.
Okay, gotcha.
Right on the border.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to go to Oshkosh. Like, it's fine driving up there because, you know, it's still pretty early in the night.
Mm-hmm.
But you're finishing the show at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and you got to drive like 3 or 4 hours and try to get back.
Oh yeah, there's no way. I mean, maybe there's a way, but it's hard to get through that without caffeine. Yeah, that's for sure.
I did 2 rains on the way home from Oshkosh last time because I had to be to work in the morning. I took a half-hour nap when I got home and then got going again.
Oh crap! Yeah, I remember. I've had those nights too. We had a really long well, we played San Francisco and Oakland, and then we drove to Reno, and we stayed at my buddy's place out there. He's from Sad Giants, which he'd be a great one to have on too. But we can message me about that. But we stayed at a casino because he had a comp room there or whatever, and which that's besides the story. We ended up having to drive to Portland and like the next day after we stayed a few days there, and it was like a 15-hour drive. I want to say, and holy crap! So we got to Portland and we played at the Twilight Cafe there, and then there was a second show going on after that, and there was and it was like a lot of like really heavy metal playing, and I was like passed out in the booth there, just like while the loudest music ever was playing. Like it just knocked me out. But because Jimmy liked to drive a lot on there, but even just riding in the car for that long is tiring. Yeah. But I love it in the same breath,
We did the last tour, like we had some bad luck with drummers. Like our drummer got a job, like so he had like a month before had to drop out because like his job was starting like 4 days before our tour. So it's like,
Oh,
well,
damn.
shit. He couldn't really get out of that. He was unemployed for a little bit in there.
Sure.
So then we had like 3 other drummers drop after him, like, and it was like in that month lead up, and we're like, well, what the fuck are we gonna do, So me and my bass player just added acoustic, like, and it was just, we are a 3-piece, so it was just the 2 of us driving.
Yeah, sure.
And our bass player doesn't have a valid license.
Oh, damn.
So he had to drive maybe 5 hours of the tour.
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
so then, you're driving most of it. That's rough. That's a lot of driving put in. This last tour we went on. Oh, just go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're good. But yeah, it was funny because like I needed a nap one day, like driving from Portland to Oakland. I was like, dude, just take over for an hour. Like I can take a quick one and hit it the rest of the way, and then like long run from Albuquerque to Des Moines. Like
that's a haul. That's a haul.
Yeah.
There. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you can sleep for your 4 hours. I'll get my 4 hours in, and then I'll drive the rest of the way.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you have to do it in shifts. I know on this last time I went out to Oregon and Washington, it would have been last summer or last April with Pass the Flask. I toured out there, and Curtis from Pass the Flask and Mike played bass, so I had them play with me because I mainly do solo, and then I have friends that'll step in and play as the band with me when we do tour usually. So we had about 6 guys on the thing there, so we were able to, because the first night was a 17-hour drive from Fargo to Missoula, or was it Missoula? Yeah, Fargo to Missoula. And but I drove maybe like a 6-hour thing of that, and that's still a lot of driving, but we were able to split it up so it wasn't so bad. But yeah, you get those things in there, and I just I get the feeling in my eyes right now where you're just trying to keep them open when you get in those spots. But we went from Denver to Phoenix in 2017. It had been me and Jimmy Hobbs from Not Ben Shin, and we in northern New Mexico, they had 2 inches of snow. So maybe not even 2 inches, but they closed the interstate. So we had to stop and gallop. But on their way to go to the hotel, we got a flat tire on the side of the road, and no one knows how to drive in snow down there. And I'm a pretty laid back guy. Like but I was like shaking my tire iron at the cars that were passing each other while we were going by there. I mean, I thought for sure, like, this is how I die. Like, there's semis passing each other when you're trying to change a tire on the side of the road. And yeah, it was an experience. So.
Have you ever had those like experiences like a few times on tour where you just think you're gonna die somehow in that city?
Oh yeah.
Like Chalice, Idaho, because we were touring in January. So there's avalanches everywhere. Like so,
sure.
Like the two made runs into Boise, so we were not going to make it to Boise that night. Like there's no way it would have. And even if we had tried, we would have got there after the venue was closed.
Sure.
So we had to camp out in this Bates Motel looking place, and it's like we're gonna die here. But hey, there's a diner right there at least. So at least we're dying on the stomach.
Yep. That's great. Yeah. No, we've been in a few of those too. This last I played in Laramie. Back in March, and then we left, and the next day I think we went to Jackson, Wyoming, and the wind was just so crazy there, and we're driving on and we didn't have power steering in this car, which I didn't realize until we were halfway out to Rapid City. Otherwise, we'd have taken my car. So we went through like the Teton Pass and everything like that without power steering, and good hell, I mean, I thought for a few times there, oh yeah, this is how it's going to happen, but. And then also just being in new places too. I mean, there's just a lot of like stuff, and especially being from, I'm pretty sheltered being from, same Midwest, there's not a lot of stuff. So it's the first time you go in some of these cities and you're not like with your family on vacation and stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of eye opening and just kind of not necessarily scary, but it's, totally different. You're really out of your element, but that's kind of what I love about it too.
I love the road, honestly. Like I wish I can get back to it. But like I want to we were trying to do our second record and then go out.
Sure.
But But then quarantine hit, so we couldn't really go to Arizona to record it. So we're like, well, I guess we'll try to find a place closer because like I can't plan vacation time, and if this happens again,
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's messed with a lot of plans. I mean, I know I'm planning on recording mine. It'll probably be in the fall here now, but I was going to have, a handful of friends come on and play, whether it be lead guitar, and I have a few friends that play like, I have one friend that plays like, plays violin or whatever. So we're going to add some strings and stuff, kind of do some cool things. And all just kind of got put on the back burner until all this gets over, but just doing what we can to get through it. At least we got these live streams now. And we figured, I mean, it's something.
Oh yeah, like we started this as a live show. We were like going to do it monthly as a live show and just bring on like a different member of every band or different,
Sure.
once a month and have like just play acoustic songs or play our songs acoustic. And it would have been cool. And then like this hit, and we were planning the second show like entirely because the first one was like Leap Day. No, yeah, February 29th.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And so like we're planning the second one. This hit, we're like, well, that kind of puts the kibosh on that. But like I still kind of want to do this, and I still want to play shows, but we can't. So live streams to the rescue.
Yeah, I mean, I know I was doing a ton of them at the start of the pandemic, and I've kind of stopped. Like, well, of course, I went through a breakup in the meantime, so then I was kind of just been sad, mopey, not wanting to play music, And then of course, this last week, I know that everything's been really wild, so I haven't really done it. But I actually, when you messaged me, I'm like, oh crap, that is today, because I remember because I had forgotten, because I'm like, oh, it's June, I don't got to worry about that for a while, and here we are.
I forgot to send you the flyer too, like, because like there's a few people I got to do with like through like my phone for some reason. Like when I send the flyers, because I was sending talking you through your page, like the messengers on there are a little weird.
Yeah.
So I was just like, well, I'll just do that, like, and then I just kind of forgot because it was on the agenda. And
yeah, no, it's totally fine. I had I had spaced out, but I think it worked out just fine. So yeah.
The hashtag around here now, if I do anything like that, is Brad ruins everything.
Brad ruins everything. Oh, I love it.
So that's actually becoming a new like we're getting shirts printed with that on there now.
Nice. That's fantastic.
Like
I used to.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I used to have stickers that said Brian Hoffman makes me sad, because I always everybody gives me crap about my sad songs. So I need to make more, I think. But
I loved it though. Like I like sad songs, honestly.
Me too. I don't know. I've gained a lot from sad songs. I don't know. Sometimes for me, I don't know, it like helps me let shit out sometimes too, and then knowing that somebody else is going through stuff too. I don't know. I've always been able to grab that from music.
Okay, I was making this joke in my head yesterday because I heard from the Nine Inch Nails version came on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a great song through and through. Like, I love Johnny Cash's version better, I think.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But like, the original's still great.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there going, like, making a joke in my head. I'm like, I am relating to this way too hard right now. I'm definitely not good mentally if I like Trent Reznor's making this much sense.
Yeah. That's a rough one. Yeah, you get in those spots and you listen and think like, damn, this is hitting really hard. Like, I need to check myself a little bit.
Zoom chat my therapist.
Yes.
Trent Reznor did it again.
He did it again. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, there's certain ones that they'll get me. And well, we're coming up on the 1 year. My grandpa passed away last summer, and we're coming up on the 1 year thing of that. And there's like a few country songs, and like the other day, I think I was a little bit late I take Effexor or whatever for depression, and like I was a little bit like
right on time.
Yeah, and then like I think it was like John Deere Green by Joe Diffie came on, and it made me cry. I'm like, okay, you need to take your meds. But
there's one song like I could be in a great mood, but it moves me so bad, and it's "Plea from a Cat Named Virtue" from the Weaker Thans.
Oh, I know.
Especially that last part, once you hear him say, "I know you're strong." That line just guts me.
Yeah. Oh, every time. The week. Yeah, I got goosebumps now. Just like every time. The Reconstruction site just it too. Like there's so many. Like I don't know. He has a way with words that just get me. I love that man so much.
I know. Like I recently started covering that song. Like just because I tried to do this music that saved my life episode to raise money for NAMI.
Oh heck yeah, that's awesome.
And then so I was just like, okay, what are my 3 favorite covers that I want to do that really hit hard? So it was like Ball and Chain from Social Distortion.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Blink, like Carousel.
Sure. Oh yeah, yeah.
And then the Weaker Thans. And then I'm sitting there trying to get through that. I'm like, I'm gonna choke up at that last line.
Yeah.
I hope I can get through that without breaking down.
Yeah. There's times like with those certain things. Like I have some songs of my own too that I've written that are kind of I had a best friend or a really close friend in high school pass away from suicide when we were 19, and I wrote a song about that. And there's like some of those that I'll play it, but I played it after my friend Benny from Green Bay died, and we had like a little show in my parents' garage. Actually, Poor Choices from Wausau was there too, and it was kind of cool, But I played that, and I remember just getting really, really choked up, playing that. Like there's certain times getting through those things. But yeah, that song always gets me, and it's just written from such a cool perspective. I love how they write songs. Yeah.
It's cool that you could still relate, like when you could still relate to your own songs, especially after playing them so much.
Yeah, I think it's crucial though. You know what I mean? I think you need to not turn off. I mean, even if you're not in a bad spot or in the spot you were when you wrote it, you still kind of owe it to the song to give it the conviction that made it. I don't know, and maybe that's a bit too. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I think. Because I think that I perform it better too when I'm in it, when I get kind of relive that stuff, and it's therapeutic.
Sometimes the band, like when we do a song, like because we all make the set list together or whatever. So it's good to have like the band around to help make that, because then I could not play certain songs for a while and kind of like disconnect from them a bit. So when I do come back, I can play it like. They're fun to play again.
Yeah.
You remember the emotions, and it's hitting you just right.
You're in a good headspace. And I mean, in the same way, it's the same way we listen to music too. I mean, you'll be having some songs that you listen to in a pretty regular, rotation, and then your rotation changes, and then you come back to those later, and you're like, oh yeah, this is why I loved it. But I think just with anything in general, you kind of, you appreciate it after you haven't played it for a while. And I'm trying to bring back some old ones that I haven't done in a while, just kind of getting them ready, for whenever I can record.
I have to reprogram because I use YouTube like for my playlists.
Oh sure.
Just listen to a handful of songs, and how YouTube essentially just programs your My Mix on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I will get so bored with the songs on the My Mix because after a while I gotta just go through, try to think of a whole bunch of new songs to put on there.
Sure. And you go through. I have I'm doing the 3-month thing at the start for Apple Music or whatever. So I have that, and that's been kind of nice. It doesn't quite I don't know, do the radio stuff as well as Spotify does, but it's not too bad. It's got good variety on there, and they do a few mixes, but I'm the same way. I have so many songs on there in the thing there too, so I just put it on shuffle, and kind of go through and skip. I skip through a lot though too.
I do like how YouTube will throw a random song in there that you like from a band you never heard of, never listened to, but it's close enough to what you're listening to anyway.
It gets you into it, check it out. I know that's kind of how I found a lot of these bands. I know back in the day, the old Pandora days when you could just go on and it was free. I remember that's how I found out about Off With Their Heads. That's how I found out about the Menzingers. It's yeah.
Off With Their Heads is another one of those bands that hits hard too.
Oh yeah, no, Ryan speaks right to my heart with those songs. Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, I don't know. There's so many too. Like the I don't know, like the Please Don't Make Me Go Home. I forget the name of the song though. You know which one I'm talking about? Maybe it's even
Yeah.
just called that. And god damn it, that one just punches me in the heart every time. And I love it, you know. But yeah.
Drive and Clear the Air do that to me too. Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
especially
So
Clear the Air. Like, it's such a great fucking
it's
song.
a really good song. Yeah. And I mean, it just, I don't know, it explains so much. I mean, just puts it out there. I mean, I don't know, we've all kind of felt that way or whatever. And I mean, I don't know, I have the need, especially, you know, with my mental health and everything like that. It's just like there's certain things like I always have that drive to, you want to explain yourself no matter what, or just make things right. And sometimes you can't. And it's just kind of, yeah, I don't know.
Do you like when you listen to that song though? Like, if you're in your car, do you just treat that as like a therapeutic moment? Like when it goes, "God damn it, I'm falling apart!" Like you just shout it with such
Oh, yeah.
conviction.
Oh, you bet it. You bet I do. Yeah. Yeah. It's so great. Yeah. It's just so yeah. I mean, like that can't be played at a low volume. You know, it yeah
Full blast, windows down, and then shouting along to it.
yeah it's yeah. There's nothing better. I mean, there's a handful of songs like that. You know, I mean, there's some Against Me ones too that are really just shout along with. And um, I had one in mind, but it's slipping my mind. So good story, Brian.
Um, I gotta say though, Off With Their Heads is another one of those artists. It's like, man, like the Trent Reznor effect. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is hitting way too hard. I gotta call my therapist again.
Yeah, exactly. That's certain. Like there's some of those that'll just pull you down, like no matter what. Like I've gotten like called on it too by like some friends. It's like well, you'd be doing better if you weren't sitting in the dark listening to sad music all the time. I'm like, well, you're not wrong.
What am I supposed to do? It's Saturday night right now. This is Saturday night ritual.
This is Saturday night. I got to Saturday night with a
Friday night, I stand in front of the fridge with it open, eating shredded cheese out of the bag in my underwear. That's I can't break that. I can't break that. That's Friday. Like
you can't get rid of my Saturdays.
right.
Yeah. I mean, basically, all you gotta do is switch the T and the D, so it's Saturday. I think it's fine. I think it fits. I'm not gonna change it.
Right. Like and honestly, like that, you can't change that. I am a creature of habit, people.
Exactly. Well, and I also do art. I paint, and so I do that. So a lot of it, I mean, it's crucial to kind of like keep stuff in my rotation and kind of, because I mean, yeah, music does change your mood, so doing some stuff. So there's certain times when you need to get need those sad songs. There's other times when I need to turn it off, and podcasts are good for that too. But I listen to a lot of stuff and I rotate in between. But yeah.
There's one out of Madison that's really good. Like it's the My Awesome Friends podcast.
My Awesome Friends. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, they do it. It's like they do it via Zoomcast now. Like they do a regular one too, but like they started doing like with the pandemic. I forget what episode they're on. They got to be on like episode 5 or 6 now.
Okay, nice. I have to go grab my laptop charger real quick. It'll take me literally 30 seconds. Just so I don't disappear.
Before I forget, guys, we are raising money tonight for the Milwaukee Bail Fund. We just got to get some people home. Like honestly, like a lot of protesters were like, arrested and stuff for this, like, and even like non-violent protesters. So we're doing whatever we can to raise money especially this week and everything. So
donate.
Some of the people home. Right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Awesome. I was really glad when I saw that that's what it was going for tonight too. So yeah, it's a great thing. I mean, and sometimes like, being out here too, especially like I want to contribute and help and do whatever, but there's, limited things I can do. So it's good to do, even if it's just something little,
Our goal is like only $300, like initially, because like we realize a lot of people have been out of work and stuff like during this. So it's like and some people are just getting back to work, and it's like I can't ask them to like.
Yeah, it's hard.
Give and like so like I wanted a realistic goal. We hit it yesterday, and it was like, well, I'm still gonna like do the charity thing like until like we run out of charities.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's great. I mean, that's what it's all about too. Taking care of each other and doing that. I mean, I think that you know there's I mean, it's a pretty. I mean, on whatever heavier note, it's a pretty scary time. Right now, but I think that there's good stuff on the other side of it, and I have to think that. I mean, I gotta. And I think being on the right side, and I have no doubt that I am. So it's just crucial to I don't know, take care. We're all in this together. Take care of each other. So
It's stay positive and do whatever you got to help out and
yeah, and it's just little things. I mean, even if helping out is explaining, like the issues to like someone who doesn't understand it, or doing if they're receptive to it, and that's kind of been the tough thing, because I mean it's really easy to just and I've had to block several people, you know what I mean, but it's for people that are willing to have a discussion and listen to everything. I think that it's crucial that I don't know, people have been divided for too long. So
I had to block somebody who was like a friend of mine yesterday just because like they said the most ignorant things, like the swastika wasn't a bad thing before like the Nazis used it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not friends with you anymore. Like,
yeah, like I can't defend that. Like you can't defend that. That's fucking stupid. I mean,
right.
Like on the language, but yeah, I mean, it that doesn't make any sense. I mean, sure, I get it, but like I hear what you're saying, but it's clearly associated with Nazis now.
Right. Yeah. We're not talking old Hindu Buddhist art. Like we're talking.
Yeah. And well, what I don't get, and then I mean, it's kind of the same because of the thing with the Confederate flag. And what I don't get is there's people around here flying the Confederate flag and everything like that. I'm like, I'm from the South, I mean, so I mean, like you're clearly, I mean, you're just saying I'm racist, and yeah, that's all it boils down to. Yeah, and it's frustrating, and it's really frustrating because there's a lot of, I mean, I have a good support group around me with friends, but they're very far away, and this. I mean, I'm kind of outspoken in where I'm at right now, but happily, I do my part. I mean, I have a 9-year-old daughter, and I don't want her to look back at this and be like, oh, dad, whatever. Like, I want her to be proud of me, and I want to set a good example. And that's not the only reason, but I mean, just doing the right thing is the main thing. But,
I just read something too, like the U.S. Navy on like a lot of bases banned the Confederate flag.
The Marines banned it too. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they see it anywhere, they're having it taken down, like if it's on base, which is amazing.
It's huge. Yeah, it should have happened a long time ago, but at least it's happening now. And then with the NFL, doing whatever, and I know that they're kind of, doing it just because that's going to keep, people watching. Sure, maybe it's not for the best motives, but it's a good result because that's going to reach a lot more people too. And I think, I mean, what happened was unacceptable, and I mean, it's something that's been happening for way too long. And I mean, I admit that I'm not, the most educated to speak on it. I know that it's not something that I've dealt with, but at least I think you have to try to realize that like not everybody grew up in the same America that you did. Like if you are white and and having issues with this, but
oh yeah, like I was thinking about that the other night when my friend James was on.
Okay.
And he it was a little more heavy-handed episode, but I feel it was one of our better episodes because like he was making such good points. It was very political and everything.
Yeah, but I mean, there's discussions that need to be had,
And I was thinking too, because like this whole thing really makes you think about privilege and everything.
Oh yeah. I mean, someone, shared something and I hadn't even given it a thought, and I'm sure it's, something that you've seen on social media too, but, all the things you think about when you get pulled over, like, oh crap, my car insurance, oh crap, this, oh crap, whatever. But you never, like, I've never thought once, oh, I'm going to lose my life. That's not a fear I've ever had when I've gotten pulled over, and, that really kind of resonated with me. I'm like, oh yeah, crap. I mean, that's not something that I've had to worry about. And there's a lot of those things that, I mean, they're not things you think about. And I think just listening, and bringing it to your attention. I mean, none of us are perfect with it, but there's a difference between doing that between just being willfully ignorant to it or actually trying to understand and, make the world a better place, even if it's a seemingly insignificant, gesture,
Little, yeah. Like helping people, like obviously if they have their hands full, like offer a hand at least, like
yeah,
something small, like even that can make a huge, like, I don't know, because it's a nice gesture, and then I don't know, I think those people are bound to pay it forward somehow because it's like, well,
yeah.
that dude was cool to me, I'll be cool to this guy.
Yeah, I think just generally, spreading positivity, and that's what I've been about. And I mean, I'm despite despite depression and stuff like that, I'm a pretty positive person, and I like to do that. And I like to, I mean, people need to be like, I think treated and well and with respect. And when I think that it's just general. That's just being a good person. That's just being what I mean. I was raised Catholic. I'm not anymore, but there's a lot of things that I mean, and that goes on the whole thing of like secular morality, which we won't get into. But I mean, there's a lot of these things, and I mean, there's a lot of hypocritical people that I've seen that are doing whatever, and like you're not doing what you say you are. You're not, and it's frustrating. But also on the bright side, like you're seeing a lot of good come out of it too, and I'm trying to focus on that, even though there's so much terrible going on. Like obviously, it needs to be brought to attention. You just got to look at the good things coming from it, and I think that I hope that we get it figured out because it's scary. I mean, and I mean, and if we're feeling it, I can only imagine what it's like for the people actually going through this stuff.
And like, as much as like these protests are huge, like this is history that's happening right now. Like
it is.
And like it could, like, I only feel like I'm hoping a lot of good can come from this.
I am too. Yeah, I think it's I mean, it's going to be a rough thing to get there, and there's a lot of resistance to it. But I think I don't know. One thing that I kind of hadn't realized is that when they were talking about the lady that was the first black student in the Louisiana school, and finding out that she's only 65 years old, so that's not too long ago, No. I mean, it's not too long before my parents were born, and I mean, it's pretty recent in history. And then you think about like, oh yeah, I guess there's still people with that mindset here. And I think for a long time I wanted to, I mean, you wanted to believe just because you don't see it that it's not going on, but I mean, with seeing all this, I mean, I didn't even realize that it was, I mean, I knew it was a big problem. I did, but I didn't even realize, how big of a problem it was until some of this stuff's been brought to my attention. And I think just bringing it to light and making it right is what we got to do.
Oh, definitely. No, and like, who was it? I didn't realize that like Black Lives Matter was as new as it was, like, or like it started in 2013 with like the Trayvon Martin case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I was doing like the research and everything, I thought it was like a little bit later for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't realize that. Yeah. I mean, I knew kind of around the Trayvon, because that was in 2012, correct? Trayvon Martin?
Yeah. 12 or 13. I can't like.
Okay. Yeah. Somewhere around there. But I remember, remember that. And I mean, there's so many, Eric Garner and those things that, I mean, it's been, and then, I will just take this time to say that, if you say all lives matter, fuck you. Of course, all lives matter. That's what we're saying. And I don't care if it's something that's been repetitive or whatever but you need to, I mean, just because like if all lives matter, it shouldn't be a problem to say Black Lives Matter. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. It's frustrating. And I mean, some people are just doing it just like, I mean, for the, I don't know, like I get what you're saying, but like you're being an asshole, Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like in the whole thing with the Black Lives Matter movement is like they're not saying that all lives don't matter. Like they're telling like
they're not saying Black Lives Matter more. Even they're not
right.
saying that. They're not saying
they're saying like a lot of it is the big issue is cops are treating black lives as if they're expendable.
Yeah, and that's
That
yeah, and it's fucking disgusting too. Like I mean, and some of the footage I've seen, like whatever, it's just I mean, blatantly like the Buffalo thing is a bunch of crap too. I think yeah, and the 57 resigning. Like at first I thought like they resigned because they did, and then like they resigned because they're supporting them, and they're like fuck you guys.
right.
Yeah, it's horseshit, and I mean it's just blatantly being I mean if you look at the people that showed up to protest too, and then of course you got like people that try to escalate and do violence just to mute the point, but when you have people like what am I trying to say? um, it's just really frustrating when you're trying to get something across that it's something that should be simple morality for people, realizing that this is a group, this is a community that's hurting right now, and this is who we should rally around. It doesn't mean that your life matters less, and white privilege doesn't mean that your life hasn't been hard. It just means that your skin color hasn't been the reason that it was hard.
Right.
And that's I mean, yeah, because I mean everybody has struggles, I get that, but like what are we trying to prove? It's like, well, all lives matter. Like, shut up. Just
Right.
sit down and listen.
Right.
But,
Get on their side because clearly, like that right now, that's the right side. Like it's the right side anyway. But like,
yeah. Well, I saw the thing. I'm sure you've seen the meme too about the it being like failing an open book history test. And I mean it's exactly what it's like. I mean clearly this is the. I mean like I don't know like unless you're just. I hate to say it, but unless you're just kind of like a bad person, you know what I mean? And I don't know. I think people need to. I don't know. I wish I knew what the because right now what the answer was, because I mean right now me it's just been trying to get across to my family, relatives, anybody that whatever is things like what's going on, and I mean that's the best I can do because I'm not going to tolerate it in my family, and luckily I have a good family. I mean, so, and at least I have a few, some good people in there, but there's some that I mean like they're lost causes too, that you just have to like I have to unfriend you, I have to do whatever because I can't deal with it. I can't try to explain, or, I mean like if nothing's going to get through to them, but
these past 4 years, it's like from the election night 2016 to now, I have just been like, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse, and like
and it gradually, not even gradually, it has, and I mean it's really come to a head now. And I mean, I don't recall. I mean, like, nothing. I mean, aside from the Civil War, like I don't know to have a time that like things have been as divided as this, and especially in my lifetime, nothing's been this. I mean, and everything that he does is divisive too, and it doesn't help calm the people. It doesn't help calm tensions with things, and it's just to rally his base, and it's dangerous. It's dangerous for America, And I mean, I hate that people say that just because you have dissentful speech that you don't love America, that you're not patriotic. Don't throw that in my face, because I love America and I want it to be the best that it can be, and I think that a lot of us feel that way, And I mean, you don't need to hijack patriotism with your bullshit views, because I think that some of this stuff is some of the most patriotic shit that you can do, because you're trying to make your place a better place.
You don't have to be nationalistic to be patriotic.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's more patriotic if you speak out and want to make it a better country.
Dissent is one of the most patriotic things you can do. I mean, and I believe that from day one.
It's how the country began. I mean,
yeah, exactly. And it's I don't know. I don't know where along the way that got lost, but I think that at least things are. It's like I said, I think we have good things on the other side of this. It's just when the other side of it will be, and what it's going to take to get through it. But
keep going towards that light at the end of the tunnel and hope it's not a truck.
Exactly.
I'm almost there. Oh fuck! It's a truck. Oh.
Uh-oh. That's what this year, that's a pretty good metaphor for how this year's been, is it not?
2020 in a nutshell. Like,
Yes.
I saw a meme. It was 2020. It was kind of like, let's take the Spanish flu, like the Great Depression, and the race riots of the 60s and just mash them all together in 1 year.
Yeah, and it's exactly. I mean, it's nuts. I mean, because like I mean, the pandemic's obviously like a historic thing. Like it has, I mean, and that's been wild and just really scary and surreal. And then yeah, this happening like right after, or I mean, even during, really, if we're looking at it, because coronavirus is still out there. I mean, and hopefully, I mean, but I don't know. I think one of the most upsetting things is that how quickly, we were to deploy the National Guard and stuff for the protests, but we wouldn't do it where, didn't have any of that quick action for when a virus was, I mean, there's 100,000 people dead, I mean, that's a lot.
Dead because of it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I don't know, however many times 9/11, you know what I mean? And it's a lot, and it's a number that I still am not sure if I fully have fathomed how much that is. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? Like it's because that's like half of the biggest city in my state. And
like look at like and with like say 9/11. Look how fast after like that happened that the TSA just got the shit together and like.
Yeah.
But they couldn't do something similar with the pandemic, like get all the guidelines and shit in effect, like enforce everywhere, like in states have to have a mask, like.
Yeah, and then I think dissolving the pandemic task force in 2018, just because and I'm not going to sit here and say Obama was perfect, whatever, we all know we needed drone strikes and stuff like that. I'm not saying, but like at least there was, I mean, I don't know, like at least you felt a little bit like they cared about you. You know what I mean? And I mean, I don't feel that at all now. I mean, and
I feel he was like a very cool, level-headed person, seemingly.
Yeah.
Which made me like, all right, this guy is a leader at least,
Yeah, exactly. There was leadership. Yeah, I mean, and I'm not saying that he was terrible either. I'm not saying that. But yeah, I mean, it was at least leadership and something like, I mean, united. I think united, like this being called the United States is probably the most, contradictory thing at the moment. You know what I mean? Because everything, and then he blames it on governors and stuff like that, and it's just not good leadership. And I don't even think that's a controversial statement.
I am no longer like surprised by anything that comes up every day. I'm like, sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing like, yeah, I've stopped being surprised by him. Just like, oh, here it is again, whatever. I can't, I mean, like with, I can't listen to him when he talks. Cause like, I mean, I'll have to look and read what he said afterwards or something like that, because I get, I mean, I don't know. I don't like yelling at the TV.
The last speech, like I've never really listened to his speeches, but like I saw that martial law thing he was declaring like a couple days ago, where he's basically going to turn the troops against the American people.
Yeah, which is what, I don't know. It's what we've invaded other countries for,
Right.
And yeah, it's not, it's not the America I want, and I mean, and I don't think that I mean, you can say whatever about some of the stuff, but I mean, even Black Lives Matter, that's not a radical thing, and it gets kind of, played that way or towards everything. And then, and then the Antifa bullshit, like it clearly just means anti-fascist. It means anti-fascist. And I mean, everyone should be, you know what I mean? So yeah. And if you're anti-fascist, guess what? You're a fascist.
Right. You're against, like, and the thing is like, the people complaining about that too were the same generation that went to Normandy.
I know.
That's the alarming thing. It's like, you guys were anti-fascist.
I don't know how it happens. It's such an interesting thing psychologically, but I mean, it's cognitive dissonance, I guess, at its finest, but it's just, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. There's a lot, and in respect to, there are a lot of people that were at protests back in the '60s that are at protests now doing everything. I mean, so there's some cool people out there too. And and there's a lot. I think I do still want to think that there's more good than bad. I mean, I have to. I have to at least, even if that's a lie, I have to believe that to get through. To get through it. And I think that that's a flaw that'll get me. Until whenever. But I like to see the good in people, and I think that's.
I think we can do it. It's like a people, if we all just can kind of start to see the good in other people and start to try it and
and that's kind of where you come into where it comes into problems with and it's more of a in-depth thing there, and maybe something I'm not even able to talk on, but cancel culture and everything like that too. Eventually we all need to learn to live together, figure it out. So whether these there's certain people that just be canceled, get the fuck out of here, but a lot of this, and I think that's why I haven't been quick to, I've unfriended some people, but I haven't been quick to it. I'll at least try to do whatever across, and I've tried to do it in a peaceful, eloquent manner so that I have nothing to be like, okay, I dropped to their level on this. I just want to communicate, and I think communication, it's a big fucking thing, and I think if we find a way to talk about it, that's, it's going to be uncomfortable. It is. We're all feeling it, but it's a conversation that's been long overdue, and that's coming from just some white guy that didn't graduate from college in South Dakota, but.
And you can't, it just because it's going to be uncomfortable doesn't mean it shouldn't be said.
Yeah, exactly. How many times, with family or anything like that, there's certain things, and what happens when you don't talk about something that's bothering you? There's resentment builds. You can look at it on a small scale with a relationship, but resentment will build and do whatever. So until you have that talk about what's bothering you, and I think that's just on a macro scale is what we're dealing with, and some people don't want to hear that. I don't think that equality is not like pie. I've seen that meme too, just because someone else gets equal treatment as you doesn't mean that you get anything taken away from you. And I don't, yeah. Quick Milwaukee story on tour though, to lighten it up just a little bit. All right. Yeah. So, in 2017, I was on tour with Not Ben Chin. We went there. We played at the Art Bar. And we each played an hour or so, and we got $100, and then we were up there talking because we were asking the bartender, because we were, how it is on the road, you're looking for a place to crash. If you don't have to stay at a hotel, you won't, and we're talking to the bartender, and he's saying he's like, no, I don't know, and we're just saying, well, we're kind of living out of our car going through this, and he was like, hey, did you guys get your pizza? I'm like, oh, we get a pizza? I'm like, I didn't realize that. And then he's like, do you want to do that? And I'm like, yeah, we'll probably just take it to go. And they're like, okay. And then we were sort of waiting, and then we're sitting at the table, and we get a frozen pizza in the wrapper, still frozen, and we have no way to cook it. And so I never laughed so hard or never at that, because it was from the same guy that we were just talking about, living out of the car with too. And it was great. We had a great time at the Art Bar. I'm not talking about it, but it was just one of my funniest memories from touring. And then that I think I drew a crooked smile face on it, and it rode around the car. And I think in a desperate night in Chicago, we ate it, except we microwaved it in a hotel microwave. So, but that's my Milwaukee story.
Eventually, I guess it would work. It would be really soggy pizza.
Very soggy. It was chicken Alfredo at least, so you could kind of get But
most of those are soggy anyway, so
yeah. So we didn't have anything to cut it with either, so we're just both there. We're it was 3 a.m. We checked until, and it was a Bates Motel type motel also, and so because it was on the outskirts, kind of outskirts of Aurora, I guess. And maybe I'm not sure if I remember that right, but either way, yeah, it was 3 or 4 in the morning, and we're just ripping pieces off of this frozen pizza. And luckily, we were touring in January, so it wasn't too temperature compromised, But yeah,
it wasn't really a tour story, but we've done when you're younger, you hang out with your friends or whatever, and sometimes you just have nights where you just all get together, drink, smoke,
Sure.
and then you just chill. Like that's the whole fucking night. So we had one of these nights, and we're all stoned, we're all drunk, like just that nice crossfade going.
Sure.
And my friend Eric throws in a frozen pizza, forgets to take the cardboard out.
Oh no.
So it's so fucking like soggy, and then it's stuck to the cardboard, and then it's just like, but we're all stoned and hungry as fuck, so we're just like, well, I don't give a fuck.
I'll just take it. I'll eat it.
This is making me so happy right now. I don't give a fuck.
There was a time in high school when we went out to a party. It had been my cousin Andy and I, and we got home, and his mom had made pork chops for supper, and there were leftovers in the fridge. And we snuck down to the basement, and we were just eating pork chops out of the pan with our bare hands. And we're just like looking at, we're like still pretty drunk or whatever, and obviously just like just mowing down on these pork chops and drinking do you remember the Dollar Tree used to have those juices that were like the super off-brand ones? And there was a juice that was like themed after dinosaurs, and they had Orangeosaurus Rex and do whatever else, and then they had Grapeodon. And we laughed so fun, and we still do laugh so freaking much at Grapeodon. And it was just because we laughed at it when we were eating pork chops when we were drunk in high school.
You just get that happy memory behind it, plus Grapeodon's just kind of a ridiculous name in general. So it's
so ridiculous. Yeah.
It's like, did they try with that? Like Orangeosaurus Rex? Okay, fine.
Yeah, sure. You put Orangeosaurus, you get. I'll give you that. And I mean, but yeah, Grapeodon, like it's not even like
close to anything.
No, nothing. It's just like Mastodon with the grape. Like I maybe.
Grapeosaurus, it at least sounds kind of like Stegosaurus. But
yeah, Grapeosaurus, yeah, something like that. Or like, yeah, Velasa grape. No, I mean, it's at least trying. It's trying more than Grapeodon is trying, I will say.
Right. But the people like coming up with it, like the off-brand shit's like, it's going to be a Dollar Tree, guys. Who gives a fuck? Like,
that's Grapeodon. Like, what are we going to call grape? Grapeodon?
Sure? Yeah, that's it. That's the one. You don't have another try on you? No, fuck that. Like, it's Grapeodon.
Grapeodon. Good. It just rolls off the tongue. Like someone signed off on this. You
get that CEO and they're like, fuck it, print it.
That's just mine. I love those things. There used to be a shop that would have in the cities that would have misprinted like shirts, and there's like Subway, but it was like SVB or something, or and like someone typed something wrong, but there'd be a whole bunch of them. And like there was one, I had it for a while. There was like the Price is Right, but like right was spelled like it was like RIGT or something. And yeah, this funny shit.
That 70s show, I thought of one because of that. It was Tad Nugent.
Oh yeah, Tad Nugent.
So it was Ted.
There was a really funny thing on. There's a baby names page that I follow, but they just do ridiculous names. And the one that I saw today was Elton Jaundice. And that one got me pretty good.
You just got me thinking too. There's a trend now in music right now where you mash up like celebrity names or whatever together. So like there's Michael Sarah Palin.
Oh yeah, Michael Sarah Palin.
And then Avery from Retirement Parties has a side project called Elton John Cena.
Elton John Cena. There's I'm not sure if you've watched Parks and Rec, but they have Bobby Knight Ranger.
Yes.
So it's a bunch of people that dress up like the coach of Bobby Knight, and then they just sing Night Ranger songs. And that's pretty great.
We made a game out of it, like where we're constantly just coming up with different ones. And I had Steve Harvey Oswald.
Steve Harvey Oswald. That's pretty good. I know me and some of the guys from Wausau always try to mess up idioms. Like we'll do that. So like just say them wrong or mix them up and mash them up. So my favorite one that came from all of it was you poke the bear, you get the horns. Because it sounds normal right away. And then, like, if you say it with enough conviction, they'll be like, yeah, you're right. And then later, like, bears don't have horns, And, I mean, Or if you just toss a basket in, like like grass is always greener when it's not under a basket.
It's
I
true.
mean, it's true.
You put the basket on top of it. It's not getting the adequate sunlight. Yeah, it kills the grass.
I
Like,
mean, plausible.
yeah, there's I can logic my way out of almost anything. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
especially
you can't put
especially
all
bear
your
horns.
eggs in one horse.
Yeah.
Why would you?
We've been talking for almost an hour, man, or over an hour.
Oh boy, yeah, it's gone by pretty quick though. It's been a fun conversation.
I know. I don't even watch the time. I've not been watching the time at all this week.
Oh sure.
We were because we were so good for a long time, like going before everything this month.
Sure.
Like through May, we were good. It was like an hour 1, an hour 2. We did really good. I think we went a little over, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And then like the whole week has been like 2-hour episodes almost.
2 hours. No, it's been great. It's been everything. It's just been fun to have some. I've been cooped up the last 3 months with my 9-year-old, so having a conversation with other adults is nice anytime. But not that I haven't had fun with her. But.
Oh yeah, but it's it's the reason some people go to work. It's like because it's like, oh god, I'm happy to be at work because it's like I've been around my kids all day. Like I love my kids, but adult conversation.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, and then with the frustrations of homeschooling and everything too. I mean, she did great. She got straight A's in homeschooling, so that's because they canceled middle of March. Is when they called off the rest of the year, and so that's been good. But yeah, it's been. I mean. Because summer's always more stressful because I have her more anyways. And then we've picked up fishing on the lake east of town here. I mean, we don't really catch much, but it's something to do, and just finding things and finding ways to get outside and do whatever. And yeah, but this has been nice because there's a lot of, then you can talk about things too, where I can't really vent about the current political climate to my 9-year-old, nor should I, but, I mean, she knows what's going on, and I like to have her, in the know. But
you start to go on the political rant, but then you're explaining history and everything as you're doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a homeschooling lesson. It's like, and this is why you smash the state. Like,
yes.
And write that down. It's going to be on the final.
It's going to be on the final. Yeah. No, she's and she's got a big heart, and I'm really proud of her, and I mean, and right now I just, I want her to be, looking back, I wanted her to be as, proud of me as, I am of her for being a good person. How she treats people, you know what I mean? And it's, not to bring it back to a heavy note, but yeah, it's because it has been weird. And I mean, I've had to, kind of apologize to her because her birthday was on April 19th too. And normally she has all of her friends and cousins there. We normally do a pool thing and stuff like that. And just little things like that got, canceled. And, so we had to, luckily we did a scavenger hunt this year. So I just set up since she couldn't have any friends over, I set up a bunch of different clues, and then her presents were all in one spot, and she loved that. So, you make it work, but it's definitely trying,
What are you doing on the 21st
of June?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Okay, so we're doing it won't be a music episode of Storytellers, but it will be the storyteller aspect. We're doing a stories only episode.
Okay.
And basically, we're gonna just have a panel come on, there's gonna be a bunch of us. We're looking probably in 20s right now.
Okay.
11 of them is one ska band.
That's awesome.
But we're trying to do a stories only episode where we all kind of get on and just tell funny stories. We have a few of my comic friends are coming on.
Awesome.
If you want to come on,
I would love to. I would absolutely love to. That'd be a lot of fun. So I've got a lot of fun from the road that I haven't gotten to too. So
it'll be on a Zoom chat, because we just have so many people. So we're just gonna do it via Zoom.
Okay.
And this is where everyone gets one story, and we all just shoot the shit, have a good time. We can comment, after their story's done,
sure,
why it's funny, grape it on.
Grape it on, yeah. Explains itself. Yeah. that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah. I'll have to vet and see which one I'm gonna tell then. So
hell yeah. Come on. Timothy Lockwood, who he's been in the comments. You probably saw him.
Yeah, I saw him on there, yeah.
He was on last night, and he's coming on too. I mean, a few of us are going to be on.
Yeah,
Like,
I would love it. That sounds great. I mean, it's a great way for, I don't know, to just kind of like, turn, because I've even noticed it here is that it hasn't felt like I'm talking to a computer screen. It's a good way to hang out without actually, being there because we can't, So yeah, it's great. Yeah.
I'd rather this show be a hang anyway. Like, because we used to like, I used to have like talk points and questions. I still kind of have them,
Sure.
just in case it comes down to dead air, which it hasn't really been a problem.
Yeah.
But like, I hated the like having almost like cookie cutter questions because then you
Yeah.
get cookie cutter answers, and it's just like I'd rather have it be a hang. It's more fun.
Yeah, and then you kind of like things, the way conversations, grow organically too. I think you get onto some stuff that you wouldn't, and I think that's the fun part about it too. Is that, well, hey, I didn't know we were going to talk about this, but I'm glad we did, and it's yeah, I'm all about it, and I talk a lot too. So
Hell yeah. What who's it? Like Timmy and I just sat and talked to like records yesterday, like at first, and then it spawned into like a 2-hour conversation, like about like everything, like tour stories, Bob's Burgers, like all the shit we can come up with. It ended up being a long discussion about everything John Benjamin has been in, like.
oh, he's been in a lot of stuff, yeah.
Right, and like it's that like it's one of those things that's like it all grows organically, so it's like every episode's gonna be different then.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, because you have different conversation styles with different people you talk to too, and it's kind of, you get more, yeah, I think you get kind of more of that's what I like about some podcasts too, like Pen Pals. Have you heard that one at all?
No, I gotta check that out.
Rory Scovel and Daniel Van Kirk, they're two of the funnier comedians, one of the, like, I really, really like them. And they're both like, they just respond to things there, but like, just seeing where conversations go and how things go and just kind of how they get goofy or there's different things that you bring up. I know, what was it we were talking about? And this is maybe a little gruesome. We were talking about like, somehow we got in the conversation that like, when after a guillotine, when the human head comes off, like there was a time when a guy was like awake, his eyes were blinking for like another
couple minutes,
another couple minutes afterwards. And I was wondering like what if he was trying to say something, and you get weird thoughts, and I was like, those fanner things that you pump fires with, and like so then I just kept interrupting my friend with because I just have the image in my head of them trying to get him to speak by putting the it's rough. I know.
It's funny though. Rory Scovel, man, like he's like he's brilliant in a way because it's just like I can't tell if he's just like insane in some way.
Yeah, he's I think he's just
outsider.
Yeah, it's like wonderful. And I love seeing how he's growing too, because he has that dilation. The one on Apple Music, but the Rory Scovel tries to stand up for the first time on Netflix. That is, it's just fantastic. And the way he delivers it and everything. I think I've gotten more to understand his comedy a bit more after listening to that podcast, honestly. But it's just like, I don't know. I there's so many things about him that crack me up.
Have you ever watched, like, you can watch them all on YouTube, but like there's a Comedy Central show called This Is Not Happening.
I have not.
So it eventually got adapted to a real show, but it was like all the digital department for Comedy Central.
Oh, sure.
And it was like Ari Shaffir's brainchild. So he just brings on all these comedians and like just funny people, because Henry Rollins did an episode.
Nice.
And it's just funny stories. Rory Scovel did one like that was really funny. He talked about where he pooped his pants as a kid. He was like 11 years old. And he didn't know what to do with it, like, so he just like threw his poopy underwear in like his friend's brother's like room. He's like, it'd be so weird if someone down the line like, there he is, because he's like, I remember my stepmom wrote my name in some of my underwear, so I wasn't sure if I threw one of those pairs, but wouldn't it be funny if like down the line they're all watching TV, he goes, there he is, the guy who broke up our family.
Oh, it's so funny. He has a part in Reggie Watts's Spatial special where he comes up. He's like, they're doing like that sitcom thing, and he's like, "Well, I can't have kids." He just walks in with it, and I don't know. he actually had, and I haven't gotten around to watching it yet, but Robbie, that he recorded for Comedy Central, is apparently has all the episodes on YouTube on their Comedy Central page, but not, I mean, so I might have to check that out. So when Insomnia strikes.
There's so much good stuff, like as far as that goes. Like I've kind of been listening to that in the car, like when I haven't been listening to music.
Sure.
Because it's just like I'm gotten lazy and trying to figure out what I want to listen to.
I get you. Yeah.
Like I'll just throw on this, and like there's like over 200 episodes, like as far as 200 stories, so I can just sit there and
listen to those. Dumb People Town. Now that we're on the podcast thing, there, that's another one that's it just tells like funny news stories of like people are being dumb, like various different things, and it has the Sklar brothers and then Daniel Van Kirk or whatever. And but either way, they just kind of do it, and they always have a different guest on. I think the last one I listened to, they had I listened to one with Todd Berry, but then they had they've had so many different ones, but they had Rory on one of them too, and it's just but that one's a really funny one, and I think that's a good like lighthearted one for me to turn, because like I mean there's been a lot of heavy emotions lately and things like that, so I have to like I've kind of delved into comedy more lately just to kind of keep my head in the right spot. But
right, it's a normalizer, so it's
yeah, because I mean as much as you do it, well, and that's why I started rewatching Community too, and I love Community. It's so good. Yeah,
I spent the first part of quarantine binging that again.
I binged it twice during quarantine.
I was sad to end it again, like when it ended, like when I was just done watching it. I'm like, well, I guess fuck, what else am I gonna watch?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was sad too. Well, and then the way that series ended too, like it's really depressing, like because the way Dan Harmon writes that last episode and everything too, like you kind of worry about the guy a little bit too, and then but yeah, I mean I like his style of comedy too, but because I think obviously the first 4 seasons are the best seasons, but there's still some good gems in those last 2 too.
I feel like Dan Harmon and in all his shows, and like Justin Roiland too, like they're coming from a very punk rock place, and like how they want to do TV.
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
We're gonna break a lot of rules.
Yeah, and I mean that's why I don't know, and I didn't appreciate the show as much when it was out, as I do now, but. Yeah, it's written so well, and I don't know. There's so many of those funny clips at the end of the episode with Abed and Troy too. They're just fantastic. And then I love Abed's fourth wall kind of stuff. Like he's always, I don't know. It's funny because it kind of because I mean I don't know. I'm similar where you just have a bunch of quirky thoughts, and it's like, oh yeah, someone else out there has a bunch of quirky thoughts too. But,
I like when they deal with so much like I love the Dungeons and Dragons episodes. The paintball episodes were great, all of them. I like when they like dive into like sci-fi type territory with like the alternate dimension shit, like the darkest timeline.
The dice one, yeah.
And that like, did you see okay? There is a YouTube table read that they did recently, like during quarantine. They did it via Zoom chat.
Oh,
and they had Pablo Pascal from The Mandalorian.
Okay, yeah.
Pedro Pascal.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember I forgot his first name. But like he was reading it was that episode right after they come back from Pierce's funeral where they're going through the lie detector test.
Yeah.
And they had Pedro Pascal come on as the lie detector test guy. And then Jim Rash didn't play the Dean, he played Mora. But like that's a lie. Like
I love Jim Rash in that series so much. Like he's like every single time that the dean walks in, like it's just it's freaking hilarious. I saw the one recently where he's wearing like that black and white like lady from the 50s outfit or whatever.
Yes.
It like messes with your eyes so much when you're watching it too.
What was it like the Nick Kroll like with the foosball episode?
Foosball tale, yeah.
He left their soccer ball. Like, did they just walk around with a soccer ball? Like, yeah. This show is so fucking great. Like,
Oh yeah.
But watch the table read episode. Like, or watch that table read because like they're just reading. They're going over an old episode, obviously, but it's like it's so hilarious to watch Ken Jeong. Like, I didn't just masturbate in the study room. Like, I masturbated everywhere. Like, do that line again. Like, it was just so funny.
He's perfect there. I like I don't know. There's so many like good elements and like a lot of stuff like I didn't realize like like actors that were in that are like that's kind of what made them. But I think I mean I don't know. Obviously like Donald Glover. Have you watched Atlanta?
Yes.
So good.
Very very good.
Yeah. I love that show. But he's done a lot of things. But that dude's talented though. I mean yeah. But I was yeah. As I liked it, they had the Childish Tycoon, when he left that whole thing there, which is pretty cool. But yeah, and that was kind of odd. Yeah. But yeah, no, there's just a lot of stuff. And then I know on Comedy Bang Bang, I know is it Gillian Jacobs has been on there a few times, and Comedy Bang Bang is fun too. Yeah, you have to be in a certain element to watch that, but it's pretty good.
I like Gillian Jacobs. Like, she's a phenomenal actress.
Yeah. Oh, she's hilarious too. Yeah.
Right. We watched like that show Love. We actually really binged pretty heavily when that was on Netflix.
Okay, I don't think I've seen that.
It was okay for a Judd Apatow show. Because obviously it's not going to be Freaks and Geeks.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is the measuring stick of what you measure Judd Apatow shows with.
Oh, exactly. Because Freaks and Geeks was fantastic. Yeah.
And Undeclared was okay.
Yeah.
But Freaks and Geeks phenomenal. And then when he came out with Love, it was like, okay, this is just okay. Paul Rust is good.
One that I've watched recently was I binged the first I guess it's 2 seasons, maybe 3, but is of Dead to Me, and it has Christina Applegate and then the main character from forgetting her name from Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah, Linda Cardellini. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and either way, they're both in, and it's freaking hilarious, and it's dark, but it's fantastic. It's really good. Yeah, I didn't expect to get sucked in as much as I did on that one, but yeah. Well, it is close to like 10 after 9, and I should probably get back. I gotta feed my guinea pigs.
Right, we were talking forever, but it's been great though, man.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I've really enjoyed it. You said the 21st, right?
21st, yeah. I think I got you on your page. I can add you on Facebook on their profile because I saw you like the Storytellers page.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so add me on there, and then we'll get it sorted out, and that sounds like a blast. But thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it. It's been great. So
thank you for coming on, man. I love talking to you.
Yeah.
Before we go, one more plug.
Yeah.
Guys,
there.
Milwaukee Bail Fund. The link is also in the description. Facebook will not let you do a donate button for some reason on this one, but there's the link directly to the donate page. Go there, help get some people home.
Yeah.
Did you want to plug anything, Brian? Do you have any?
I guess the only thing is if you want to check out some of my artwork, you can go to Odd Luck. It's Instagram. It's Odd Luck Artwork. And then also my music is just my name, Brian-Hoffman.bandcamp.com. So yeah, feel free to check it out. And if you like what you hear, give it a down. So yeah,
it's good stuff, guys. If you saw that show, you already know it's good stuff.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So
no problem, man. But have a good night, Brian.
Yeah, you too. Take care, Brad. Awkward.